I just said President Bush has said that Barack Obama's personal journey represents a triumph of the American story, and he said it was especially uplifting for the generation of Americans who'd witnessed the struggle for civil rights.
Last night, I had a warm conversation with President-elect Barack Obama. I congratulated him and Senator Biden on their impressive victory. I told the President-elect he can count on complete cooperation from my administration as he makes the transition to the White House. I also spoke to Senator John McCain. I congratulated him on a determined campaign that he and Governor Palin ran. The American people will always be grateful for the lifetime of service John McCain has devoted to this nation. And I know he'll continue to make tremendous contributions to our country.
President Bush at the White House earlier today. When President-elect Obama gets to the White House, he'll of course face many challenges at home and abroad. On foreign policy, he's already indicated that he wants his European allies in NATO to send more troops to Afghanistan to fight the Taliban. Well, today the Afghan President, Hamid Karzai, has said Barack Obama represents a new era which he hoped would help bring peace, prosperity and stability to the Afghan people. Joining us now live from Washington is Jawad, Afghanistan's ambassador to the United States. Ambassador, would you like to see a change in direction on Afghanistan from a President Obama?
We are very satisfied with the clear position that Mr. Obama has on the issue of the significance of Afghanistan as the original and real front of the war, and on his position to deal with the sanctuaries across the border from Afghanistan and the need to further build the security forces of Afghanistan. We are looking forward to work with him to implement these changes.
But President Karzai has specifically criticized American aerial attacks to try to fight the Taliban, which kills innocent Afghan civilians. Is that something you would like a President Obama to review, to stop?
Yes, and some of the position that Mr. Obama is taking will address this. The fact that the civilians are getting killed is the reason because the terrorist sanctuaries are still open. The terrorists are coming into Afghanistan first. Second, the terrorists are hiding among the civilian, but most importantly, because of the economy of the force, because of the lack of enough force and equipments, instead of carrying out surgical operations, U.S. and NATO forces are relying on aerial bombing, which cause a lot of civilian death, which is not acceptable to the Afghan people. So if you increase the capacity, the fighting capacity of the Afghan and international forces, we will reduce the civilian death.
But do you have any reason to believe that come January the 20th, when President Obama assumes office, that the aerial attacks carried out by the U.S. military would stop immediately?
It may not stop immediately, but it has to be reduced and replaced by raids and surgical operations to get some of these bad guys alive, because they will have more intelligence value if you capture them.
Okay, but are you worried that the economic downturn will mean that a President Obama is first and foremost going to be concentrating on that rather than foreign policy issues like Afghanistan?
Yes, we are concerned about that issue, but we know that underinvestment in Afghanistan has proven to be very costly. So if we take the right measures and invest properly, we will save a lot of future cost. And this is the area that we would like to see further investment in the term of equipment, soldiers, and building the capacity of the Afghan government.
Okay, policy aside, there's a lot being made of the symbolism of a person, a man of colour, assuming the highest elected office, most powerful elected office in the world. Is that symbolism significant to the Afghan people?
Very much. Afghan people are a diverse nation, and he has energized millions of young Afghans. It was just incredible how much of a support for him existed. Last night when I was watching the proceeding, I've got many SMS, text messages, emails from Afghanistan. People were eager to know how the election is going to be. I think he is, the fact that he was elected in the U.S. is much bigger than the U.S. It was a clear message of tolerance and hope for many people, especially the underprivileged young people in Asia and Africa.
Now, Barack Obama, of course, attended school for several years in Indonesia, a Muslim country. Do you think that that in some way makes him understand better the national psyche of a Muslim country like Afghanistan?
Exposure to the diverse cultures and countries is a very important asset. It may not have a direct impact on what's going on in the world right now, but definitely want to enable them to understand the culture and the diversity of the world much better.
Okay, so when you get the opportunity to talk with the kind of people who are going to be assuming power briefly in an Obama administration, what's the key thing you're going to be telling them?
The contacts are already underway. Fortunately, he has a very significant and very qualified number of young advisors on the foreign policy issue, working with him and others. We will ask him to focus on Afghanistan and Pakistan. We are concerned about the course of the event in both countries, and we will ask them to formulate the position that he had in the elections into a comprehensive strategy in consultation with Afghanistan, NATO, and Pakistan.
Okay, Sayyid Jawad, Afghan's ambassador in Washington, thank you very much.